Hey guys, my name is Yvette and welcome to my DIY channel, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. For today's video, I'm going to share with you how I made some jack-o'-lanterns out of paper mache. So let's get into it. We're going to start off by blowing up a balloon. I kept mine at like a small medium size, and then I still haven't tied off the top yet. I'm twisting the balloon and then I'm going to tape it down because we're going to blow into this more in a little bit. And I'm using the same method that I did when I made my jute cord light up pumpkin. Now I'm going to take some jute cord and I'm going to wrap it around the balloon to make a plus sign. Right here, I'm pulling the cord under the two pieces that are already wrapped, and this will make sure that the cord doesn't move, and then I'm going to do one more wrap. Now I'm going to twist the balloon and again pull the cord under all of the pieces in the center, and then do one more wrap across the balloon. That looks good, so make sure every piece is nice and tight, and then tie a knot at the top. I'm fixing the bottom pieces to make sure that they're all in the center of the balloon so that when I blow this up a little bit more, the ridges on the balloon will be pretty much even. I'm very carefully going to take the tape off and untwist the top and then blow it up a little bit more. Okay, this is how the balloon is looking, and it has a really cute pumpkin shape, so we can move on to the paper mache part now. For the paper mache, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm taking some old newspaper and I'm going to rip it up into small medium chunks of paper. For the paste, I'm going to use some Elmer's glue, and then I'm going to mix in some water and mix it up really well. And then my only advice for this part would be just to make sure you have more glue in there than water, because you really want this to harden up when it dries. Now we're going to take the newspaper, dip both sides into the paste, and then stick it onto the balloon, and then just keep going like that until you cover your whole balloon. Here I'm going in with a second layer. Now I'm going back in with a third layer, and because I was scared that I may have missed some parts with the second layer since the newspaper blends into itself, I went in with some old craft paper that I had just so I could see a different color and make sure that everything was really covered with another layer. I'm going back in with a fourth layer. Lastly, I'm going in with a fifth layer because I really wanted this to be thick and hold its shape. Okay guys, so now I'm going to let this pumpkin dry for a few days.
A few moments later.
Here's the pumpkin dry, and I only let this dry for like a day and a half because I put it next to a portable heater, which really helped me dry this way faster. And I did get a little bit of cracking right there on the top, but that's the only place. And I think it's because I had it next to the heater and this dried faster than it probably should have. But this is like rock hard solid, so it's like super sturdy, and all of the layers were really worth it. I wanted to add a classic jack-o'-lantern face to this pumpkin, so I got this jack-o'-lantern stencil from my free stencil website. I'll link it for you guys down in the description box so that you guys can use the same one if you want to. And so I cut out the face and I taped it onto the pumpkin, and then I traced it out onto the pumpkin with a Sharpie. Before we go any further, I'm going to pop my balloon and take it out. Going back to the jack-o'-lantern's face, I'm going to cut it out using an X-Acto knife. To make the stem for the pumpkin, I'm using some craft paper and I'm rolling it up. Right here, I'm checking to see if I like the size of the stem, and for me, it's a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut off some of the length. Now I'm going to hot glue the stem onto the pumpkin, and then I'm also going to add some hot glue around the base of the stem just to make sure that it's really on there. I want to make the bottom of the stem thicker, so I'm taking some craft paper and I'm wrapping it around the bottom of the stem to give it thickness there. This is what the stem's looking like so far, and to finish this off, I'm going to do the papier-mâché method again, but this time with some tissue paper on the stem, and this is really going to clean everything up, and the tissue paper is also going to give us like the little lines on the stem that a lot of pumpkins have. The stem looks good, so I'm going to let this dry for a few hours. Now that the pumpkin is fully dry, I'm going to paint, and I wanted to make my pumpkins look like the Pottery Barn ones, so I'm going to start off with a layer of black paint. For the second layer, I'm going to use some black paint, but I'm also going to mix in some baking soda to get that faux ceramic look. I ended up doing 2 layers of the paint with the baking soda in it. To fully finish getting that Pottery Barn look, I'm going to sprinkle some all-purpose flour on the pumpkin and then rub it in everywhere. I really love how this looks, but if you feel like you have too much flour on there or something, you can definitely take a dry paintbrush and brush away some of it, but for the most part, the flour will really stick onto the pumpkin. And then you can be done here and then like just stick some fairy lights in there or a battery powered tea light candle. But I did realize that when you put lights in there, if you used newspaper like I did, you'll be able to see the newspaper in there. And at this point I realized that that would bug me, so I decided to cut a hole on the bottom so I could go in there and paint the inside of the pumpkin. I'm painting the inside of the pumpkin with a light orange color, and ideally I would have done this before I painted the pumpkin black, so I just had to like be really careful painting the inside so that I wouldn't mess up the outside. But yeah, if you see this video and you try this out, do this part before you paint the outside of your pumpkin. And then lastly, here's the second pumpkin I made. It's a little bit bigger than the one I just showed you guys, and it has a different face. But yeah, you guys, I love these pumpkins so much. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and subscribe for more DIYs, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!